我哋繼續喺第二個禮拜睇學習耶穌基督嘅樣式。
We will continue our how to learn from the Bible, how to get the image of Jesus.
弟兄姊妹，你舉望一望你自己隻手，
Brothers, may I ask you to look at your hand?
望一望你自己嘅手。
Look at your hands.
Look at your hand. Don't look at me. Look at your hand. OK。如果你要為你雙手拍一輯紀錄片
We want to make a documentary of your hands.
你會記載啲乜嘢嘅事情呢？
What you record on it?
記載你自己點樣喺家庭裏邊嘅貢獻，
Record what contribution to your family.
喺你個工作嘅裏邊嗰種嘅成功。
Record how success in your workplace.
喺你自己人生裏邊一啲重要或者覺得成就嘅時刻。
Or record some moment that you think is important, or you feel very successful.
唔知你會記啲乜嘢嘢？
And what you will put in this documentary.
如果神去睇你雙手，
With God, look at your hands.
唔知神又會記啲乜嘢嘅事情？
How you God remember from what you had done or from the hands?
係咪同你一樣咁記載呢？
May God record the same thing as you put under your documentary.
或者我哋可以轉一轉去問：今日如果神去期望我哋雙手要做啲乜嘢嘅事情？
We ask God what God expects you to use your hands.
保羅喺《使徒行傳》裏邊咁樣形容自己一雙手。
Paul in the book of Acts, how he described his hands that way.
保羅話：我這兩隻手常供給我和同人嘅需用，這是你們自己知道的。我凡事給你們作榜樣，叫你們知道應當這樣勞苦輔助軟弱嘅人，又當紀念主耶穌的話說：施比受更有福。
So Paul said, you yourself know that these hands of mine have supplied my own needs and needs of my companions. In everything I did, I show you that by this kind of hard work, we must help the weak, remembering the work the Lord Jesus himself said is more blessed to give than to receive.
保羅好明白上帝俾佢一雙手嘅作用。
Paul understood clearly that what God expects him to use his hands.
除咗照顧自己日常嘅需用之外，亦都可以讓你雙手成為別人嘅祝福。
Besides using them for yourself, you can use it to help others.
弟兄姊妹，如果我哋睇上帝嘅一雙手，
We look at God's hands.
上帝雙手喺你嘅人生嘅裏邊，又有乜嘢嘅圖像或者一個 image 俾咗你？
So what image you have in your head about the hands of God?
或者當我哋今日安靜喺上帝嘅面前，上帝嘅手喺你人生裏邊點樣俾下你嘅鼓勵、你嘅安慰，甚至你嘅引導，讓你生命裏邊更深嘅經歷神。
So do you recall what God's hands have guided you to face all the challenges and how you pass, what courage and comfort He has given to you?
今日我哋剛才主席讀嘅一篇嘅經文，係記載耶穌點樣幫助一個有麻風病嘅病人。
The scripture that we read with the chair present is about a story that how Jesus healed a leper.
耶穌喺四福音裏邊記載耶穌醫治大麻風唔係第一次。
It is not the first time the Bible mentioned about how Jesus healings.
耶穌但係你會留意喺呢一個嘅情況，呢一次嘅醫治嘅當中。
However, in this time, in this healing,
聖經三本符類嘅福音，佢同樣有記載。
and all the three synoptic gospel mentioned about this healing.
喺當中包括喺馬太福音第8章裏邊有記載。
Including the the Gospel of Matthew chapter 8.
亦都喺馬可福音第1章嘅裏邊有同樣嘅記載。
And also it mentioned in the Gospel of Mark chapter 1.
亦都喺路加福音第5章嘅裏邊亦都有同樣嘅記載。
And also was on the Gospel of Luke chapter 5.
試想像如果只係記載耶穌一個醫治嘅神蹟，
We were just ordinary miracle performed by Jesus.
點解4本符類福音裏邊同樣去記載？
So how about why the three Synoptic Gospels also mention that?
咁如果3本福音書裏邊記載係因為代表裏邊有一啲嘅重要嘅信息係要透過講出嚟。
That means there must be a very important message that the Bible want to tell us through these three Gospels.
或者喺當中嗰種嘅信息嘅裏邊係要我哋睇整個嘅大嘅圖畫，或者一個完備嘅角度裏邊去更加深嘅了解。
And also in the Bible put it that way so we can understand the whole healing in different prospects.
今日就讓我哋喺呢一件事嘅裏邊，從3個唔同嘅角度裏邊，我哋去睇一個大嘅圖畫，究竟喺裏邊有咩值得我哋學習嘅事情。
Today we will learn this healing from different prospects mentioned in the Bible.
聖經嘅裏邊，馬太福音裏邊記載咗一個長大麻風嘅人。
So the Gospel of Matthew recorded a leper.
呢個長大麻風嘅人嚟到上帝嘅耶穌嘅面前，佢有一個嘅請求，佢話：主若肯，必能叫我潔淨。
So this man with leprosy came into Jesus and asked, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean.
耶穌即刻俾佢一個嘅回應嘅時候，耶穌就話：我肯你潔淨了吧。佢嘅大麻風就立刻得到醫治。
And Jesus responded that I'm willing and be clean. Immediately the leper was cured of his leprosy.
一件祈求而蒙應允一件嘅事，可能就係咁簡單啦，係咪？
It seems a very simple story that someone asking and Jesus respond.
但係點解3本符類福音同樣記載裏邊，究竟想我哋認識啲乜嘢嘅事情？
With all three gospel books also mention this story, then it must be something that the Bible wants us to really understand it.
呢個人長咗麻風病。
It's a man with leprosy.
麻風病係一種嘅傳染性嘅病毒。
Leprosy is a weakness that can be spread out.
當人感染嘅時候，佢身體會裏邊有一啲嘅紅腫嘅情況。
So when someone have leprosy, his skin was kind of lots of rash.
但係最危險嘅情況就係佢會侵蝕你嘅神經。
And the dangerous thing is these will have an impact on your nervous systems.
咁以至你嘅神經係冇咗嗰種嘅感覺。
And you lost feeling about on your skin.
所以好多時嘅時候，佢唔覺意嘅時候咧，隻手指甩咗，佢唔知道，或者身體變形，佢感覺唔到。
And even he can feel any pain, even if he was hurt, like even lost a finger, he can feel it.
呢個人帶住呢一個嘅疾病。
This man with the leprosy.
唔單止自己影響，當佢佢頭先講咗呢一個病係亦都係一個傳染性嘅病。
Not just his physical body hurt, but also this disease can be transmitted to someone.
所以啲人知道你有大麻風係同你一個好大好遙遠嘅抗拒，或者一個保持一個距離。
So people keep very distant with those people who have leprosy.
試想像一個病嘅人，佢嘅心情一定唔好。
Imagine anyone get sick will have very emotional impact.
裏邊一定好多事嘅時候，面對佢將來會有恐懼。
He may have lots of fear about his future.
或者會唔會繼續嘅嚴重，佢會懼怕。
He also feared with that sickness getting worse.
或者可能佢會自己嘅時候，唔知幾時會害咗周圍嘅人，可能佢亦都會帶住好大嘅壓力。
He also have the pressure because he worried that disease can pass to someone else.
特別如果俾咗自己嘅所愛嘅人去家人，可能佢自己都唔係一個好受嘅情況。
Especially this leprosy may transmit to his family, and this is that he had all these bad emotional feelings.
更加呢一個嘅病幾時會好返呢？唔知道。
And the worst is no one knows that how will that leprosy be healed.
所以佢會帶住一個好大嘅人生嘅裏邊，喺情緒一會好容易跌咗一個好大嘅幽谷。
And it's really easy for anyone have that leprosy to fall in the emotional valley.
正因為呢一個病會傳染嘅。
Because this one can be transmitted.
所以當人知道你有嘅麻風病嘅時候，佢會幫一來保持距離，二來係會將你喺一個嘅偏僻嘅地方作隔離。
And people will try to keep distant from you, and also most of the time they will be isolated in a separate area.
當你感染呢一個病嘅時候，你同你嘅家人再冇接觸。
If someone have this leprosy, there will be no social life with the family.
同你所認識嘅社區，你嘅朋友唔會再接觸。以前好好嘅朋友，佢見到你都會保持一個距離。
Or the friends or anyone will keep a distance from you or from the leprosy.
佢只有同一班患同樣嘅麻風病嘅人一齊住。
They can only live with anyone that have also be lepers.
佢嘅社交生活，佢會見到你嘅樣，今日又唔同，第二日係變形，或者你可能過咗一段時間，你又離開啦，咁自己會諗幾時會到自己。
And the one who live you also have this, or the lepers may getting ugly because of disease, and also they pass away. And you think, what will happen to me?
點佢會當我有呢個病嘅時候，我哋會問點解我會有呢個病？
They may ask, why I have this leprosy?
喺當時嘅社會，好容易，當你有疾病嘅時候，同你罪就扯上一個關係。
During that time, any sickness can be related to the sins.
可能你有罪啦，
Because you committed sins.
可能你父母有罪。
Maybe your parents committed sins.
當自己認罪嘅時候，點解我仲未好返？
Even I admit the sins, then why I cannot be healed?
神有冇去聽我祈禱？
Did God listen to my prayer?
神有冇嘅手有冇將佢嘅憐憫喺我身上？
Did God still have mercy on me?
面對人生裏邊，只係無奈等待死亡，或者可能喺呢段期間裏邊，同神嘅關係越嚟越疏遠。
So the lepers may be a situation that may be just waiting to be die, and also and then get the distance from the God getting further and further.
嗱，我哋對大麻風病者有少少嘅觀念嘅時候，
When you have keep in mind about this, what happened to a leper?
嗱，咁我哋將睇聖經嘅時候，我哋就會理解佢當時佢嘅心情係乜嘢。
Then we go back to the Bible, then we will understand how this man with leprosy is feeling.
你會留意馬太福音記載呢個麻風病者嘅時候，嚟到去拜他。嗱，呢個係中文聖經所講，但係佢係英文聖經係嚟到耶穌嘅面前，跪喺耶穌嘅面前。
The Bible said that man with leprosy came and knelt before Jesus.
而馬可福音記載嘅，佢呢一個係嚟祈求嘅，哀求跪喺上帝，跪喺耶穌嘅面前。
In the Gospel of Mark also mentioned that the man with leprosy begged Jesus on his knees.
請你留意路加醫生。
And also look at the Gospel of Luke.
路加醫生裏記載呢個人嚟到耶穌嘅面前係面伏於地。
So Dr. Luke that he mentioned that the man with leprosy fell with his face to the ground.
唔好忘記路加係一個醫生。
And remember, Luke is a doctor.
佢了解到呢個病對比呢個嘅人佢嗰個嘅心情嘅影響。
And truly understood that what's the emotional impact on the leper.
可能佢已經變形或者疾病，佢唔敢去見人。
Because the leper, because his sickness, he is afraid to see anyone.
我怕去見人。
He was so afraid of seeing anyone.
我怕將我嘅面目俾人睇。
He may be so afraid to show his appearance to anyone.
了解呢個嘅病人佢嘅心情係點？
So what is the feeling of this leper?
呢個人對耶穌有一個要求。
He has a request to Jesus.
個要求係乜嘢？
So what's the request?
佢話：主啊，你若肯，必能叫我潔淨。
So he asked, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean.
耶穌嘅回答，佢話：我肯，你潔淨吧。
So Jesus responded, I'm willing and be clean.
完㗎啦！
And that seems to be the end of the story.
你點樣請求，我點樣答你。
You ask and I respond.
完㗎啦！
And that's it.
耶穌幫咗佢㗎啦。
And God helped, and Jesus helped him already.
但係你會留意三本福音嘅時候都記著同一件事。
However, and also the three gospel both mentioned one thing too.
呢一個嘅動作好似好普通，但係對呢個麻風病人嘅時候十分有意義。
Even though this is just a simple saying of Jesus, but it's very meaningful to the leper.
記載耶穌伸手摸佢。
And the Bible said also that Jesus reached out his hand and touched the leper.
呢個麻風病人有冇咁祈求過啊？
Did the leper ask for touching by Jesus?
冇啊。
He didn't.
點解耶穌咁多事？
So why Jesus did that?
呢一個伸手去摸，耶穌可能換嚟好大嘅後果。
So because this touching can maybe have a big consequence on Jesus.
可能耶穌會感染㗎。
Maybe Jesus get the leprosy too.
唔感染都麻煩啦，係咪？你要去驗證自己係冇感染嘅時候，又要去祭司嘅面前做一番嘅動作。
Even Jesus was not infected, he has to prove that he was infected and may cause a lot of trouble for him.
耶穌知唔知？
Did Jesus know? Do you think Jesus know?
耶穌知。
Jesus knew.
點解冇叫你哋都做？
But why Jesus didn't? So why Jesus did touching the man even though he was not asked to?
呢個係一個好自然嘅回應。
Because Jesus was responding naturally.
馬可去捕捉咗呢個嘅原因。
And Mark, we also put more detail to it.
馬可咁樣形容，當耶穌伸手去觸摸之前嘅時候，耶穌係動了慈心。
Mark described that before Jesus reached out his hand to touch the man, Jesus filled with compassion.
耶穌望住呢個人，佢心裏邊佢動咗一個慈心，以致產生呢一個自然嘅回應。
So Jesus looked at that man and have filled with compassion and naturally touched the man.
乜嘢叫做憐憫同情？
Then what's the meaning of compassion?
聖經裏邊有一個咁樣嘅意思，係對他人嘅痛苦有一個深切嘅同情，令人去藉住一個嘅行動去減輕對方嗰種嘅痛苦。
So compassion has such a definition that or meaning that a deep heart-felt sympathy for the suffering of others that move one to take action to alleviate that pain.
呢個觀察有感動。
And through observation, someone was and feel the compassion.
一個有同情嘅人，呢個行動，佢唔係記掛住自己，而係會留心別人。
Someone that have the compassion is look beyond himself and to see the pain of others.
你有冇呢種嘅同情？
Do you have such kind of compassion?
你通常去留意自己，定係關心周圍？
Do you pay attention to yourself more or pay attention to others or the pain of others?
你會留意呢一種嘅同情係耶穌裏邊一個嘅好自然嘅品格。
So you can also see that the compassion actually is a natural nature of Jesus.
耶穌去見到人喺罪裏邊，佢嗰種嘅憐憫，佢嗰種嘅 compassion， 以致推使佢願意捨棄天上嘅榮華嚟到去幫助世人。
When people see all the sins of the people and that he is willing to come to earth have with that compassion to give mercy to people.
神知道你嘅掙扎，以致去進到你生命嘅裏邊，施下引導同埋幫助。
So Jesus knows your suffering and willing to come and help.
從呢一個嘅個案裏邊，我哋有乜嘢留意或者學習得到關於耶穌佢自己呢一種嘅同情嘅特徵？
So from this story, how we can learn from it that what is the characteristic of being people with compassion.
你會留意耶穌呢一個嘅同情嘅一個嘅表達，唔係淨係講，而係喺行動裏邊表達咗出嚟。
We notice that Jesus put this compassion into an action.
因為呢一個嘅醫治嘅裏邊個重點唔係我願意，而係我伸手去觸摸你。
And the key point of this healing is not just it's not just the I willing, is also Jesus willing to touch.
而你會留意呢一個嘅行動，唔係翻去我開下會，或者我計算下應唔應該，而係好即刻作出一個即時嗰種嘅回應。
And this action is not is full very careful planning, rather than it's really immediate action.
你會留意呢一個當我哋睇耶穌呢一個表達嘅係耶穌嗰種嘅裏邊一種嘅性格嘅流露出嚟。
And this is the compassion actually is a character of Jesus that naturally expressed.
好自然嘅表達。
It show or express really naturally.
而係冇話要求而去做，而係當睇到呢個情況，去觸動我嘅心，去做出嚟。
Jesus want to request to have the compassion. In other words, it's a very natural need that Jesus feel the compassion and express it.
你會留意當耶穌呢一個行動可能會帶嚟一種嘅危機。
You may also notice that Jesus have take some risk for this compassion.
啲人點睇佢咧？
And how people look at Jesus.
可能自己係一種嘅危險啊，或者跟住要被隔離。
He may have a risk that Jesus may be need to isolate afterward.
可能呢個行動會有 consequence。
This action will have consequence on Jesus.
而耶穌呢一個行動冇其他嘅對自己利益，所以咁做，而係完全為對方而去做。
So you can also see that Jesus do the actions not for his benefit, other than it's for others' intention.
弟兄姊妹，我哋今年喺第二個禮拜，我哋睇，我哋要學習以耶穌嘅心為心。
So this year, every second Sunday, we will learn how to learn from Jesus, how to learn from what Jesus' heart.
3月份我哋睇耶穌嗰種嘅同情嘅心。
The first month we look at the
March.
Or in March we are looking at the character of Jesus, the compassion.
我哋喺呢一件事睇到耶穌佢嗰種嘅同情心有啲幾方面嘅表達。
So we have seen that Jesus expresses compassion through different ways.
弟兄姊妹，當我哋安靜喺上帝嘅面前，諗下喺過去一段嘅時間，上帝佢點樣藉着佢嘅手，將佢嘅憐憫喺你自己嘅身上，喺呢個 compassion 喺你嘅身上。
So maybe we take a quiet moment to reflect ourselves that what Jesus have show us his compassion in the past.
當你疾病，神點樣醫治你？
When you are sick, how Jesus had healed you.
當你心裏邊充滿好多嘅壓力，好多無助，神嘅手點樣扶持住你？
And when in your heart or you feel so much stressful and how Jesus and God have helped you.
當我哋喺人際嘅裏邊出現好多嘅危機，唔知點樣同人與人嘅相處嘅時候，神嘅手點樣為你開路？
When we have facing so many interpersonal relationship disasters, and how God's hand have helped you to pass through them.
當我哋面對我哋嘅軟弱，我哋甚至埋怨緊上帝嘅時候，神嘅手點樣去引導住我哋繼續走一條義路？
So we are suffering, and we also are blaming God for that, and how God still use His hand to guide you through.
我哋好感恩上帝嘅手成為我哋嘅祝福。
We are such a blessing that we have God's hand as a blessing.
弟兄姊妹，你嘅手，
But it's a house of hands.
你有冇同樣將上帝嘅同情、憐憫透過你嘅手去與周圍嘅人一齊嘅分享？
Did you also use a hand to show the compassion like Jesus?
你有冇透過你嘅手去將祝福帶過俾你所周圍嘅人？
Do you use a hand to bring blessing to the people around you?
聖經以弗所書，保羅鼓勵每一個基督徒。
In the book of Ephesians, Apostle Paul encouraged each believer.
我哋要以恩慈相待，全憐憫嘅心彼此嘅饒恕，正如神在基督裏饒恕了我們嘅一樣。
So Paul said, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave us."
咁即係換句話講，保羅鼓勵我哋每一個基督徒喺你嘅生命裏邊，你要出現上帝嗰種嘅憐憫，嗰種嘅恩慈。
That means Paul has to, as a Christian, also show the kindness and the compassion like Jesus.
弟兄姊妹，當我哋去讀神嘅話語，當我哋每一個星期嚟到嘅時候，每一日我哋讀神嘅話語，你期望我哋就係要喺神嘅話語裏邊學習點樣去跟隨耶穌。
So when we come every Sunday and also read the Bible every day, we want to learn from the Scripture and that how to follow Jesus.
聖經流露耶穌基督嘅憐憫嗰種嘅品格，神期望喺我哋嘅生命裏邊同樣流露開去。
So the Bible shows us the Jesus characteristic as being compassion and want us to learn and follow it.
問題嚟，
And the question is,
如果昔日呢一個大麻風嘅病者嚟到你嘅面前，
if this man with leprosy came before you,
佢都唔求你醫治
and he also asked for your healing,
，give me a heart，
and he asked for a hug from you,
你會點做？
well, how you would respond?
你會 come on，
You ask him to come on and give him a hug,
定係好快彈開？
and you just run away,
有咁遠走咁遠，
run away as far as you can.
弟兄姊妹，你
Brothers
會
and
點做
sisters,？how you would
我估
respond?
你會好似當時其他嘅人一樣，
You may just react like the other person during that time.
你會留意咧聖經咧，馬太福音佢有咁樣嘅記載，佢話耶穌下了山，聖經話咩啊？有許多人跟着他。
So also the Gospel of Matthew mentioned that when he came down from the mountainside, large cloud followed him.
嗱，馬太就見證話，嗰個人未出嚟之前嘅時候，好多人跟住耶穌。
So before that leper show up, there was a large cloud following Jesus.
但係當呢個人出現嘅時候，嗰啲人點樣咧？
And with this lepers show up and appear, what happened to those people?
嗱，聖經又冇咁樣講，話一個人跟住逐個由老到幼走開，好似馬太約翰福音第8章啊。
Although the Bible didn't mention that all the people live one by one.
但係請你記住，耶穌同呢個大麻風嘅人同佢講話：你切不可告訴人咯。
When we recall that Jesus said to the leper that don't see that you don't tell anyone.
嗱，我醫好你，嗱你唔好話俾人聽啊。
I told you I heal you and don't tell anyone else.
咦？但係如果周圍嘅人而家講嗱，你哋唔好話俾人聽啊。
If
Not only you, right? Everybody.
there are lots of people is around, then they should also tell other people, right?
咁即係你會留意到當時嘅嗰啲人可能彈開晒㗎。
Then you can imagine that all these people have been stay far from this leprosy already.
咁我哋又嘗試代入下呢一班嘅人嘅身上嘅時候，點解佢哋會走開？
Then we can imagine, or guess why those people all gone.
驚㗎嘛？
Because they are fear.
你驚唔驚啊？
Because they are fear. Would you be fear?
驚咩啊？
So fear what?
驚感染咯。
Fear being infected.
係咪我咁靚係咪？感染咗佢唔知點樣變成點係咪？
I'm not sure what will happen to me after I was infected with leprosy.
哇！我感染我變咗不潔嘅喎。
Also will be unclean.
哇！就算我冇事，我都要跟好多嘅步驟去處理啊。
Even I'm good, I still need to follow a lot of procedure to prove I'm clean.
就算嗰啲人都覺得你冇事，但係喂你掂過去嘅喎。
And you may say, oh, you touched this leper already.
我幫助佢解決人際嘅問題啊，可能帶咗落俾自己又係社交嘅問題又出現啦。
Even though I help the people, but I also get into the social disaster because people try to stay away from me.
你會唔會驚？
Or will you be afraid?
會唔會驚就攔阻咗你去將呢一種嘅同情嘅心去彰顯喺你生命裏邊？
Because of fear, then you stop and don't express the compassion to others.
可能你會話我都唔想，
And you may say, I just don't want to.
明嗎？中國人有句説話嚇，事不關己就己不勞心啊。
He's trying to say that it's not my matter. Why bother?
That's not my business, right?
Oh, it's my business.
有咩事啊？關我咩事啊
So,
Okay.
yeah, why bother with that?
How come I get in trouble?
Yeah.
點解自找麻煩啊？或者可能你會留意，無論我哋驚或者我哋唔願意，其實個出發點係我哋自己。
When you look at all the fears and also unwilling, actually the root cause is because we are self-centered.
明白？我哋好驚自己吃虧。
We have fear that we will, I myself, we have trouble. I have some trouble myself.
記唔記得頭先我哋睇同情嘅定義？
Remember when I look at we just look at the definition of compassion.
同情嘅定義係睇到別人嘅需要，而睇唔係記掛住自己嘅情況。
So the meaning of compassion is focus on or look at the people's pain rather than ourselves.
但係自私係只係睇到自己需要，我唔理你嘅情況。
In the contrast, self-centered means I just focus on myself and don't care about others.
睇唔睇到？當如果我哋仲容讓我哋嗰種自我嘅中心或者自私嘅性格流露嘅時候，我哋好難去彰顯嗰種嘅同情嘅情況。
We are so self-centered, then it's very difficult for us to express the compassion to others.
記唔記得聖經裏邊第一人類歷史嘅第一個嘅謀殺案？
Remember recording in the Bible that the first murder case in the world,
個人殺咗佢嘅兄弟亞伯。
Cain killed his brother Abel.
當上帝去問該人你嘅兄弟喺邊度嘅時候，
When God asked Cain, "Where's your brother Abel?"
該人咁樣回答，
and Cain answered.
佢話我唔知道，
He said, "I don't know."
我豈是看守我兄弟啊？
He replied, "I am my brother's keeper."
我就係理自己，我唔理，我點解要 take care 我 brother？
I just take care myself. Why I need to bother what happened to my brother?
弟兄姊妹，人喺罪裏邊嘅情況，
This is what happened when we have sinned.
可能你話人不為己，天誅地滅。
You may say, it seems so natural that we just focus ourselves.
個個都關自己事嘅啦，自己淨係理自己嘅啦，係咪？個社會係咁啊，社會嘅錯。
So everyone, is so self-centered. It's not my problem. It's a social problem.
試想像一下，
Just imagine.
如果呢個大麻風嘅人係你，
If you're the one with leprosy,
你會唔會再係期望別人隨便 self-centered 啊？
so will you express that, or do you want everyone to be
Enjoy your
self-centered?
selfishness 。
And you ask people, it's so fun. It's fine that you enjoy your selfishness.
如果耶穌好似你同我咁樣嘅，
With Jesus, just like you and me,
呢個人唔係好興奮而走，而係好失望、好埋怨而走。
so with Jesus, like you, is being self-centered, then the man with leprosy will leave with such a disappointment.
怨恨周圍嘅人，怨恨上帝。
You will keep bringing others and also keep bringing God.
思想盡下，
And let's imagine.
如果呢個長大麻風嘅人係你嘅兒女，係你嘅親人，
The man with the leprosy is your children or your family.
我相信你一定會乞求周圍嘅人 幫佢啦，幫佢啦。
For sure, you will beg and ask anyone
你唔好
to help
咁自私
him.
啦，
And no,
你
you
有
should not be so
同情。
selfish.
同情啦。
But maybe you have compassion or mercy on us.
試想像一下喺我哋生活個社區嘅裏邊，如果人人都係咁嘅時候，呢個社會會變得點樣？
Imagine if everyone is the society is all self-service. What will happen to our society?
我唔中意你咪打你咯，
I don't like you, so I beat you.
最多俾個好啲嘅藉口嘅。
I just give you an excuse. I try to make a good excuse for that.
我淨係睇我國家大啊，
I just want my country to be strong.
明唔明啊？我最緊要我自己有。
Most important, I have all the feel myself.
弟兄姊妹，如果人人都係咁嘅時候，我哋生活緊一個乜嘢嘅環境？
If everyone is so just self-centered, what will happen to the world?
保羅喺羅馬書鼓勵當時羅馬嘅信徒，佢要實踐聖經嘅真理。
And Paul in the book of Romans encouraged or asked the disciples to follow the Bible.
保羅鼓勵佢哋逼迫你嘅，要為他們祝福。
Paul said, "Bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse.
只要祝福，不要咒詛。
Bless and do not curse.
與喜樂嘅人同樂，與哀哭嘅人同哭。
Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn."
弟兄姊妹，自我嘅中心往往係一個美麗嘅同情心，一個最大嘅敵人。
Brothers and sisters, be aware that the self-centeredness is the enemy of compassion.
今日會唔會喺你嘅人生裏邊，只係掛住自己，而忽略咗你周圍嘅人，包括你自己嘅家人，過去最愛你嘅父母，或者係你周圍嘅朋友，佢哋嘅需要。
Brothers and sisters, are you aware that in your life that you may be so centered, you ignore all the people around you, including the one who love you, like your children or even your parents, in order.
當我哋繼續睇呢段經文嘅時候，馬太福音第4章佢講咗耶穌對呢一個當醫好呢一個人，耶穌對呢一個人話：你切不可告訴人，只去把身體給祭司察看，獻上摩西所吩咐嘅禮物，對眾人作證據。
So the Gospel of Matthew 8:4 said, and Jesus said to him, "See that you don't tell anyone, but go show yourself to the priest and offer the gift Moses commanded as the testimony to them."
耶穌有2個嘅吩咐。
And Jesus asked the man two things.
一個你唔好話俾人聽，二來你要揾祭司俾佢檢查，獻上應該嘅禮物，跟住你去做一個證據，你係清潔啦，你可以翻喺個社區裏邊。
So Jesus asked the man with leprosy the two things. The first is to not to tell anyone, and second is ask him to show to the priest that he was cleansed.
你唔好以為一個好簡單嘅吩咐。
And actually the seem to be simple, but actually it's not.
路加福音佢形容到呢一個係耶穌一個嘅囑咐。
And the Gospel Luke said this is an order.
Yes, order. Don't tell anybody. OK。但係咧，馬可福音咧，佢用一個字，耶穌嚴嚴嘅囑咐他們，呢個係個 strong warning。
And also in the Gospel of Mark that he said Jesus sent him away at once with a strong warning. And emphasized that it's a strong warning.
即係呢一個嘅情況好嚴重㗎。你唔係同你話，哎呀，I don't know， 咁啊搞掂啦嚇。耶穌命一個囑咐你，一個好嚴嘅命令嚟嘅。
And it showed that those two acts actually is really serious and not something you can make it simple.
你會留意喺呢一個嘅命令裏邊，包括2樣嘢。
And this order have two acts.
你唔好話俾人聽。第二，你去祭司度，點解要祭司啊？我今日冇咁多時間講啦。你去睇利未記嘅時候，第13、第14章嘅時候，講到當人有大麻風，佢需要點樣去多重嘅驗證，以致祭司去宣佈你係潔淨，以致你可以返到社區。
And the second ask is need to show it to the peace, and this is I'm not going to go into detail today because this is lots of procedures as mentioned in the Leviticus chapter 13 and 14. There's lots of procedures that it be performed by the priest to show the person to be cleansed.
所以祭司呢一個嘅驗證嗰種嘅宣告係容讓呢個人去得到一個喺人群中一種好大嘅自由。
The proof and also or the of the peace actually is very important way that to show that this person can be back to the social.
所以你會留意耶穌呢一個嘅吩咐係為佢嘅好處而出發。
Actually, this ask is for the benefit of the man with leprosy.
驚你開心得滯，哎呀好翻啦，跟住話俾人聽我好翻，哇個個都繼續彈開係咪？但係如果你去到祭司話冇事潔淨，哇大家都為你開心。
So he's afraid that this man was so excited and forget to be proved by the peace. This is very important to show that he was healed.
所以當我哋留意嘅時候，耶穌呢一個嘅吩咐係為對方嘅好處而作出發嘅。
And this art actually is all for the benefit of the man with leprosy.
咁但係耶穌俾佢兩個吩咐嘛，叫佢唔好話俾人聽嘛。但係呢個人一出去嘅時候就話晒俾人聽啦嘛。
However, even this for his benefit, actually the man is forget the first one ask him not to tell anyone, and he did ask to spread all the news.
嗱，如果耶穌見翻呢個人點解我叫你唔好話俾人聽，你話俾人聽？
Imagine if Jesus met this person again and asked why he spread the news.
咁呢個人你就一定要引用路加福音嘅話，嗱路加福音話啊嘛，耶穌嘅名聲要發傳開，我幫你打響你個招牌。
The man may respond that, according to the Bible, that the news about Jesus should be spread all over.
我唔係唔聽你話，不過我大條道理話俾你聽，我做啱嘅。
I'm not listening to you, but actually I can prove from the Bible that I doing the right thing.
但係耶穌就會同佢講，你有冇睇馬可福音點講
？However, Jesus may respond that, did you read the detail about the gospel of Mark?
就係你唔聽話。
Because you didn't follow my order.
就係你因為自私啊。
Because you are self.
你因為你自己嗰種開心啊，你冇聽我話，搞到我唔可以明進到城嘅裏邊，我只可以去到外邊。
Because of his selfness and also that as a result, Jesus could no longer enter the town openly, but stay outside in lonely place.
爭啲，你影響咗天國嘅福音。
You almost affect the spread of the gospel.
無論你點樣解釋。
Doesn't matter how you explain or find excuse.
可能耶穌日後工作有難咗，或者冇難咗。
It doesn't matter Jesus have more difficulty doing his future work.
呢個唔係最重要。
This is not the key point anyway.
但係如果啲人諗起呢一個重點嘅時候，再諗翻呢一個大麻風嘅人。
And when people recall what happened to this man with leprosy,
當佢有疾病去求耶穌
when he begged Jesus for the healing,
耶穌唔單止同佢講我願意，甚至觸摸佢。
and Jesus not just say I'm willing, and also he touched the leprosy,
俾佢一種接納
and show him the acceptance,
俾佢一種鼓勵。
gave him the encouragement.
好耐冇人去接觸佢，甚至冇人關心佢。耶穌呢一個嘅接觸，成為佢好大嘅激勵。
No one have touched the man with leprosy and gave him the kindness, and this action of Jesus touching him gave him a great encouragement.
呢個係耶穌好大嘅恩典。
This is such a great grace from God.
但係
From
佢
Jesus.
為咗自己嘅情況，忽略咗耶穌，冇聽耶穌話嘅時候，呢啲係咩人啊？叫做恩將受報嘅人。
And because for his own benefit of his selfishness, he forget about what Jesus asked him. And this is action that showing that we play kindness with cruelty.
你話啱唔啱啊？以後啲人見到呢個大麻風啊，特別耶穌門徒，耶穌爭啲俾你害死，搞到冇即係啊。
See that person and we bring him that, oh, you cause Jesus so much trouble because you react like that.
點解你咁唔聽耶穌話恩將受報？
Why you didn't listen to Jesus and we play kindness with cruelty?
係應該咁嘅嗬。
Is that the way right respond? You should have it.
當我哋經歷上帝嘅恩典，我哋有冇恩將受報？
However, when we reflect ourselves and we take all the grace and encourage and from God, and do we act the same way?
當上帝有恩典喺我哋嘅身上，有憐憫喺我哋嘅身上，我哋有冇將神嘅恩典憐憫？定係當我哋好返，我哋繼續欺凌周圍嘅人？
So when we have the mercy on or the grace from God, or we give praise to God, or we also react the same way that we are persecuting or the others.
我自己諗，當耶穌咁樣吩咐佢，嚴嚴吩咐佢，你估耶穌知唔知佢都係周圍講嘅咧？
I was thinking myself that Jesus may know that he will not follow his ask, but Jesus still asks.
耶穌我相信耶穌了解人。
Because I believe Jesus understands the human nature.
耶穌可能因為幫助佢自己會帶嚟好大嘅問題。
Jesus knew that after the healing, it may cause trouble for him.
請你記住，路加福音將呢件事停留喺一個嘅情況。
And pay attention to the Gospel Luke that the whole story ends in this situation.
路加福音講到第16節話，我哋一齊讀好嗎？
May we all read together, Luke 5:16.
耶穌
But
卻
Jesus
去
often
到
withdrew
曠
to
野
lonely
去
place
禱告。
and prayed.
耶穌去到曠野。
So Jesus withdrew to lonely places.
如果我哋唔睇後邊嘅時候，耶穌就只係停留喺曠野裏邊去傳道啦。
If we don't read the rest of the sentence, then we will think that Jesus was lonely
避
in the
開
place,
人嘅閒言閒語啦。
and he just tried to avoid the crowd.
但係耶穌去到曠野嚟做咩啊？祈禱。
And when we look further, we see Jesus withdrew to a lonely place to pray.
係啊，當我去實踐憐憫嘅時候，可能換嚟我自己好大嘅麻煩，甚至真係有麻煩。但係耶穌只係做一樣嘢，將佢嘅情況交託俾上主。
Yeah, it may cause trouble, or it caused trouble to Jesus when he healed with compassion. But actually, Jesus responded to let it all to the prayer.
唔會因為估計預計有麻煩而係停止去嗰種同情嘅心。
Not because of the expectation of troubles and then stop the compassion or react to the action for the compassion.
保羅喺哥羅西書鼓勵信徒，
In the book of Galatians, Paul also encouraged the disciple that
當我哋做咗神嘅選民，做咗聖潔無愛嘅人，
so when we are the chosen people, we are the God's chosen people and being holy and dearly loved.
我哋要全憐憫、恩慈、謙虛、溫柔、忍耐嘅心。
We should clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience.
同情心係聖經鼓勵每一個信徒要追求嘅一種美麗嘅品格。
Actually, compassion is a quality that Christians should strive for, as mentioned in the Bible.
當我哋話我哋係基督徒，
When we claim ourselves to be a Christian,
當我哋話我哋係耶穌嘅跟隨者，
when you claim ourselves as being Jesus' follower,
耶穌流露嗰種同情嗰種嘅行徑嗰種嘅品格， 聖經勾畫出嚟，要我哋跟隨耶穌嘅腳蹤行。
So the Bible highlight or it describes the action of Jesus of showing the compassion and want us to follow him.
耶穌點樣帶出嘅同情？耶穌要我哋留意，我哋實踐一個最大嘅敵人，你自己。
So Jesus showing the compassion and want us to know that the greatest enemy of us to react to compassion is our self-centeredness.
今日你係咪只係接受上帝嘅憐憫嗰種嘅恩慈，而忽略將上帝嗰種嘅同情去周圍與你周圍嘅人一同嘅分享？
Today, do we just focus on getting the kindness and compassion from the God and forget that we also need to share the kindness and compassion to the people around us?
弟兄姊妹，諗一諗喺你嘅人生喺過去一段嘅時間，上帝有乜嘢嘅慈悲憐憫嗰種嘅同情彰顯喺你嘅人生？
Brothers and sisters, maybe take a moment to reflect ourselves what God have done to show His compassion and kindness to you.
喺你裏邊，乜嘢成為你彰顯上帝呢一種嘅同情嘅品格嘅一個最大嘅難處？
So what's obstacle or the enemy that you have in that is to let you to show the same kindness and compassion as Jesus?
將你嘅掙扎話俾上帝聽。
May you let the God know all your struggling.
唔好讓你自己嘅軟弱攔咗你彰顯上帝嘅美麗。
Don't let your witness to be obstacle of showing God's beautiness.
今日你點樣去實踐將上帝嗰種嘅大愛、嗰種嘅同情、嗰種嘅憐憫喺你工作嘅地方、喺你生活嘅圈子裏邊彰顯出嚟？
How will you practice compassion or showing compassion in your workplace or people around you?
我哋好開心去成日唱 Let the beauty of Jesus be seen in me 行動。
We may like the hymn that let the Jesus beauty be seen in me, but we should also put it into action.
你要用乜嘢嘅行動？
You be brave to action
將上帝嘅愛顯明。
and to reveal God's love to
我
everyone.
哋一齊起立唱一首詩歌作為回應。
May we all stand and sing this response song.